And we are live. What is up, everybody? Austin Prechtelevate Performance, coming at you guys live for another episode of the podcast. And today we have an awesome interview set up with my amazing client, Lindsey. We've worked together in the past. She was on the team and I convinced her to jump on a podcast with me today. She informed me right before we started this that this is her first time being on like a podcast. So I'm excited that she picked, this one to be on. And yeah, it's an honor. So anyways, Lindsey, say what's up. Tell people about yourself a little bit, where you're from, or, just about a little bit about you before we kind of dive into stuff.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Lindsey. I am the owner of Berry Fresh Designs. Located in Spokane Valley. I've got 2 kids, a dog, some rabbits, so a little bit of chaos going on. Yeah. Been doing my fitness journey for just about a year now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I was gonna say too, like I'm excited because like a lot of times I don't necessarily, whenever I'm doing like client interviews, like a lot of times like they're not, some of them have been entrepreneurs in the past or kind of started like their entrepreneurial journey or whatever, but like I'm excited because like I feel like your journey and how you operate kind of with your fitness journey there's some like parallels to kind of how I see mine too. Just there's that like, I don't know, that business owner, like entrepreneurial kind of like mindset and approach, I think. So I'm excited. This is gonna be good. And so I was also, right before we kicked this off, I was mentioning it, like, and you said you realized it too, like tomorrow, and this was completely just by chance, like it was kind of cool. Because I was like, I wanted to look up, I was like, how long ago did we start working together? And it was like literally exactly 1 year ago tomorrow. It was like March 28th, 2024. So it's kind of cool, like almost like exactly a year that we're doing this podcast episode.
Yeah.
And we finally were able to, because I think we talked about it before, like occasionally here and there, but then we just both got busy and it didn't end up happening. And so I'm glad that we actually were able to make it happen. So and then like she said too, like she's a business owner, and if you want to tell, a little shameless plug, we can do it now or we can do it later about your business if you want. Like, go for it.
I can do my little elevator pitch.
Yeah, give it. Yeah, let's hear it real quick before we dive into your journey and all that.
So we specialize in helping businesses stand out and look their best through custom branding, promotional products, and marketing solutions that bridge the gap between your brand and target market.
Hell yeah, let's go. That's awesome. And I can definitely vouch for her because every opportunity I get, or I see somebody asking about like somebody to like design a logo or do like any kind of like design sort of stuff like that, I'm always like plugging your name and everything like that, just because if you guys have ever driven around Spokane and you see a bright green Challenger with my name or my business name on the side and on the back of it, they did that. So they came out and did an amazing job. And so if you guys ever want to get any like decals or like logos or anything made up, stickers or whatever, like you guys do a bunch of different stuff, right? So and they do a really good job and they're very fair when it comes to their pricing. So
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Sweet. All right. That being said, guys, let's dive into some of this these questions, just because like I feel like your journey has been really cool, because when you joined like a year ago, you said like, your health and fitness journey kind of started at that point. What I guess like overall was your goal that like, or like what motivated you to start finally?
So I tried to do it on my own. I thought I was eating healthy and doing all the things that I needed to be working out. Really wasn't getting the results that I was wanting. And I would always like end up getting sick and then stop doing what I was doing and then have a hard time getting back on track. I was really tired, not sleeping well. So just a lot of things contributed to me finally wanting to do something about it and having more guidance along the way.
That's awesome. I was trying to remember how we came into contact with each other. I feel like it might have been, was it like one of the local business groups, or did we have like mutual friends, or did a client of mine like, you knew?
I think I started seeing your videos and was following your page for a bit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, that's cool. And so for you, and it's kind of funny because you know, you started off trying to do it on your own, and you know, it kind of hit or miss and fall off and kind of start back up and things like that, and then you did join, and you know, we started getting the momentum and seeing progress, things like that. But the cool part is like now you are able to do it on your own, and you are doing it on your own, and you shared a really cool milestone with me the other day that kind of spurred me on to be like, okay, let's get this podcast episode, let's make it happen, kind of thing. And so now that it's kind of cool just seeing, which is kind of the point of it at the end of the day, right? Is like I don't want my clients to like need me forever. Like at the end of the day, like I want you to be able to learn enough that if you want to do it on your own, you have that option and you can go do that just from what you've learned. And so it's really cool just like seeing that kind of like come to fruition in real time with somebody. And so for you though, like for your journey, what were some of like the bigger challenges that you faced? Because I guess before we dive into that, what was your goal coming into the program? Like what did you want to like accomplish?
So my main goal was being able to tone, kind of track what I was eating. I like the macro approach. It really works for me.
Yep.
Along with having a workout routine that worked for me that would allow me to reach my goals.
Yep. Yeah. Because I feel like unless it's, you know, when you have a plan, it's like, oh, I just go follow the plan. I just go do this thing. Like it's set aside for me. Like I do it. I fit it into this window. And I feel like that's that parent / partner / business owner, like there's just so much, and then you got your own, all the other stuff that you know that has to do with, you know, being a functional human being. It's like it can be a lot. It can be chaotic. It can be hard to like dial those things in. Just kind of like doing it on your own with not like a whole lot of like, you know, a background in it necessarily. And so do you feel like that was kind of something like that was a challenge for you in the beginning, or like even before you started? Like what were some of the more, like, I guess, like challenges that you felt like you were facing kind of whenever, you know, before or after?
For sure. There was a few of them. The biggest one was the fact that I already had a routine kind of set out for myself. I'm a very routine person. So having to change that up and add something in took a little bit. It wasn't that I didn't want to. It was just, you know, I was so used to doing things a certain way. So once I was able to realize I had to not only tell myself I'm going to work out these days, but I had to do it in the morning at this time, put it in my little to-do daily task list. And then eventually just consistently doing that. Now it's a part of my routine that it feels weird and off if I don't do it. And I like prioritize around it now instead of, oh, I have a meeting, I work out in the morning. Well, that's okay. I'll just push it off. Now I'm like, no, I work out in the morning. I'm going to schedule around that. And obviously kids, family, definitely a challenge. But yeah, as I said, once I got it in my routine, it was just a lot easier to.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's one of those things too, where it's like, at the beginning of a journey, it's definitely like a transitional period of time. Like, and a lot of times people don't give themselves enough time to get it like incorporated into their life. Just they kind of like, oh, this isn't working, or like, oh, like I can't do this, or like, you know, they just don't give it enough time to like settle into their routine and like make it part of their lifestyle. And when there's like you know, especially as parents and again business owners, like you've got so much other stuff like, you know, pulling you to like in the direction of not self-care like on a daily basis. It can be a challenge to catch. I even still sometimes struggle with it to a degree where I'm like, okay, I'll do that for myself later. I'll get that done later. Or I'll figure that out later. And then like, you know, it's like 9 o'clock and I'm like, oh yeah, what did I eat today? Oh yeah, nothing. Oh, okay, darn. Okay, but it's one of those things like the moment that you kind of like commit to it and you're like, this is for me, and this is like this is gonna help. I had to convince myself like this is just gonna help me in all these other areas of my life that I might sometimes seem like I care more about than myself, kind of thing. But like if I make it like, if I like set that perspective in my mind, like it's like, okay, like oh yeah, like me going to the gym, that's for my business, that's for my family, that's for, you know, because it's true at the end of the day, because you need to be that, you know, that higher, like, that happier, like healthier, like, more cup filled version of yourself. And so, yeah. So for you, some of the things that you've accomplished, like, as far as like progress and everything like that, like what have you, like, since, since we've been working together, and even, post working together, what are some of the things that you've, gained from, being on this journey, and, maybe some of the things that I've like helped with to a degree.
Prioritizing my health
Mm.
would be the top one.
Yeah.
And then learning how to eat better. Again, I thought I was eating healthy, but when you actually track it, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not even anywhere close to the protein that I should be getting in a day. And I'm way overeating on my carbs.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So,
it's, yeah.
yeah.
I was just saying, like, it really does, like, it's eye opening whenever people start, like, when you like, it just brings awareness to it. And like, I
Yep.
think that awareness is huge. Because so many people just they don't realize, like you said, like lots of people, they're like, oh, like I'm eating salads, or I'm eating this or whatever. Like I'm eating, I had avocado and some of the, other things. It's like, yeah, those things are like healthy and in small amounts, but like, or with
Right.
moderation in mind, but like, a lot of times people just, they don't even know about energy balance or calories or macros or any of those things. And like, when you actually sit down, like, because a lot of times people are like, oh, like I don't eat that much. Like, why do I keep gaining weight, or why can't I lose weight? And then they like actually like log it or pay attention. They're like, oh, okay.
There it
I
is.
I was just blatantly unaware. Like, whoops.
Yep.
So
Yep.
no, yeah. Cool. I feel like I cut you off a little bit earlier. Like, did you have anything else you're gonna add, or?
So what was the original question?
Oh, it was just like some of the things that you've, gotten out of this journey, like some of the milestones or progress that you've made.
So eating, water intake was a huge one for me. I struggled to drink a bottle of water, like one throughout the day. And now I can get up to half my weight plus some.
That's awesome.
So yeah, huge accomplishment for me. Have a workout routine that doesn't take long.
Yeah.
You did a really good job of tailoring the exercises to my needs and change them when I asked, and the little videos showing how to do them properly, like all that stuff really helped me.
Yeah.
Especially being able to do it at home, because I'm way more likely to work out if I can do it at home rather than having to make it to the gym.
Yep.
Just eating better.
Yeah.
I've been able to take what I eat and make dinners that I can feed my family with.
Yeah.
Make sure they're also eating well.
Yeah. That's awesome. Like when the family benefits because you made the decision, like, hey, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna like be my best self, and like it just kind of like trickles out to other people of our lives that we care about. And I think that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've pretty much have met my goal, I would say, for the most part, of the weight I wanted to end up at, and doing so in a healthy way that I can maintain it, that's sustainable.
Yeah. Yeah, you've been crushing it. Like, I mean, and again, like that's the cool thing is like, because I was looking, and like even since like we stopped working together, like you've gone and like made another big chunk of progress in the meantime on your own, which has been really cool to like see those updates that you've sent me here and there, like just when we're catching up and stuff like that. And so yeah, no, that's awesome. And you're doing it like, again, like, and you're a mom, you are a business owner, you are a partner, you're adult, you have to do adult stuff and like everything, like, and it's not easy, but it's better than the alternative, and it's also totally possible to make it a reality. And like for you, what would you say to like the like another, like, so I feel like a lot of times like moms have a hard time like making themselves the priority just because there's a lot of expectations, and there's a lot of things that might be like kind of like built in to a degree, like from just how we've been raised and things like that. Like, what would you tell like another mom, like like who's like wants to do it, but just doesn't feel like, that she can, or doesn't feel like it's possible because of those factors.
It's a lot easier than you think it is. Your workouts don't have to be hours long every single day. I see a lot of moms actually post in a group that I'm in that they're struggling, that they're, 2-hour workouts 6 days a week. I'm like, you don't have to do that. I couldn't do that. I may be able to for like a week or two. It's not sustainable.
I can't do that either. And I do this for a living. I don't have the kind of time.
Right? So I mean, realizing that you don't have to work out as long.
Yeah.
Finding somebody that can tell you the proper workouts that you need to be doing to meet your goals is really the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
I mean, eating healthy is not hard. Again, you just tracking it and understand the carbs, fats, proteins, all of that.
I feel like once you learn more, like once you learn about it, like it just gets easier. It's like you feel like you're like way more control. Like it's a whole like knowledge is power kind of thing. Like if you understand something, like you hold power over it. It doesn't hold power over you, kind of thing. And so I completely agree with that. So for you, as far as like mindset wise goes, like how important was mindset and just kind of mental health in general for you and your journey?
Oh, extremely important. I get overwhelmed really easily.
Same. Shoot. Got it. Didn't drop it. Anybody's listening, I just about spilled coffee all over myself, but we're good.
So I find that working out for me, as I'm sure for a lot of people, it helps with stress. Especially when you have it in your routine. You don't have to stress about trying to, oh crap, it's nighttime and I have to get my workout in. I mean, it's very laid out and organized for everything that you have to do. So it takes away a lot of the stress.
Yeah. And then it can help in so many ways, like mentally, physically, like it's that whole, and that's why I love fitness. And I found out that I love business so much, is because there are so many like parallels there between a health and fitness journey and a business journey, of just like, the consistency pays off, like over time, like, like you just gotta keep showing up and putting in the reps, and eventually you're going to get to where you want to be. And like, you'll figure it out eventually, or you'll find somebody that can help you figure it out. Like, it's just, there's like, whether that's like, a business mentor or a health and fitness, coach mentor, like I don't know, like that's what I love about it, is like, you really get what you put into it to a degree. And that, whether that's, results as weight loss or muscle gain, or, improved sleep or mental health, or like your results are like a direct, your results are a like a direct result of like your input, into your journey. So, but so for you, like, as far as like setbacks or any like plateaus or anything like that, like, do you feel like you've run into many of those along your journey?
Yes, I definitely had a period of time where I wasn't losing weight, or I was like gaining a couple pounds. Being very frustrated, but watching your videos and the support that you give really kept me going. Just knowing that you are going to have those days, especially if you are trying to weigh yourself every single day, which I don't do. I mean, plateaus are going to happen. You keep going, keep pushing forward, and eventually you will break past that.
Yeah, completely agree. And it's hard, like doing it on your own is difficult, just because you don't know what, like, especially at the beginning, like if you're just starting your journey, you don't know what's normal or abnormal, or like what's a mess up or what's not, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just like, and that's hard, because like because a health and fitness journey and like weight loss and things like that, it's so intertwined with our emotions and our mindset and our headspace, like, and like, whenever the scale doesn't say something that you were hoping that you didn't want it to say, like, and you've been working your butt off for like weeks and going to the gym, and you think you're eating right and you're doing all these things, and then and you probably, and a lot of times that you were doing exactly what you should have been doing, and you were doing everything right. It's just a fluctuation that happened to happen that day. And but like, people don't know that though, and so like they get all up in their head and they're like, this isn't working, like I'm screwing up, or like, I'm a fail, like, and they just like, it's really
Yeah.
easy to like spiral if you haven't gone through it yet, or if you don't have somebody who's like to be like, don't freak out, like this is normal, like we're good, like this is exactly this is what happens here and there, like it's part of it, just keep showing up, like keep doing what you're doing, everything looks great, like, and then ideally, then in theory, then the plateau gets broken, or you just have to figure out what puzzle piece is missing from the puzzle at that time to kind of get things moving in the right direction again. But yeah, I was gonna ask too, like, have you ever had like a business mentor at all?
I have not. I've talked to a couple.
Yeah, I was just curious, just
Yeah.
as far as like, I was just gonna like some of the parallels there between having like a business mentor and having a coach, but like, and because I never really had a coach for health and fitness necessarily. Like I had some like YouTubers that I like to watch and listen to and things like that, but a lot of what I did was like to get to the point where I'm at now, like, before I decided to start a business for it, was all like, kind of like self-made or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it was all kind of like, going through the trials and tribulations and like falling on my face and messing up and making a ton of mistakes along the way that I could have very easily avoided if I just had somebody that that knew what they were doing, that could teach me. And so I feel
Mhm.
like that same concept with business is how, I was going to relate it to like, you being a self-starter and starting your own business and things like that. You've probably gone through some similar, like, highs
Oh
and
yeah.
lows of business. And it's like, like,
Yep.
everything, things can feel like they're going amazing one month. And then the next month it's like, oh gosh, like what's wrong? Like, what do we got to fix to like, make sure things stay afloat,
For
kind of
sure.
thing.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that's awesome though. So for you, as far as, I feel like we already talked a lot about like accountability to a degree, being helpful and having the insights of somebody else, but like community wise, like, we have a pretty solid community that everybody's a part of, and while we were working together, could you talk a little bit about just like some of the benefits that you saw from just having a group of people like kind of working towards similar goals? Do you feel like that was like something that was beneficial?
Um, so me personally,
Yeah,
I'm more of like a on my own type. I
lone
don't know
wolf.
really how to explain it.
Yeah.
Um, I know it's good to see the other people's journey and how they're struggling, and when they reach or meet a goal and seeing their wins and stuff, and just having those people behind you cheering you on.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people like that. A lot of people need that. So it's
Yeah.
definitely nice to have that community there,
Yeah.
even within the group, because you have a few other coaches
Yeah.
and they'll post videos and
Yeah.
the befores and afters of people they've worked with and stuff. So overall, yeah, I mean, it's definitely very motivating, and
Yeah.
you actually get to see it firsthand from other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. And for sure. I think too, like that can like, because I think a lot of times, like whenever somebody, when you start like a program or, you start working with a coach or somebody, like you're like, okay, like, is this person like legit, or like, do they know, like, is it going to actually work, kind of thing? And but then like, and fair, like totally fair, like for somebody like, have those questions, or to just wonder if something's actually going to work or not for them, because they've never done it before. But then
Yeah.
like seeing a lot of other people and like their milestones or goals, or them post, we always share wins every Wednesday in there, and it's just like, it's just seeing everybody like, and it's not always weight loss either. It's like I just like hit a new like personal best at this, or me and my family cooked a healthy meal together for the first time, or my son wanted to go
Mhm.
to the gym with me today, like just stuff like that. It's just cool, knowing that there's a lot of ways to like measure success in a health and fitness journey, and that
Yes.
a lot of people are, and it all, and even at the same time, like you might, not you specifically, but somebody might not be like, might not think they had anything to celebrate that week or whatever, but then like they go and then they're like, oh shit, like so and so did that this week, and that they're sharing that. That is a huge win, and it's like kind of like starts like kind of like rewire your brain a little bit to like,
Mhm.
have gratitude for certain things a little bit more, or to be like, no, okay, that is a win right there. That's awesome. I wasn't doing that before, and now we are.
Mhm.
I don't know. That's cool. So
Even
for
with
you,
the
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
weekly check-ins, I mean, you had the non-scale victories.
Yeah. Yep.
So that really takes the focus off your weight, puts it
Yep.
on other things that you may not be thinking about.
Yeah, and what's cool too is so since we haven't been working together, we've updated a bunch of stuff. So for
Oh, cool.
our check-in form now, like
Mhm.
it's we even kind of spread it out more to a degree, with like the check-in form where it's like, we
Mhm.
ask about like, what were some nutrition wins or a nutrition win for you this week? What was a workout win that you had? And then, then there's like the mindset win, or non-scale victory win that we had in there too. So, and just kind of like really kind of like, because sometimes people might not feel like they had like you know a gym win that week, but
Mhm.
because we asked about a nutrition win, and they're like, oh no, I did have one of those. So it just kind of like helps like pull some of those like positives out of people, which I think is
Yeah.
good. And then we even have kind of like a mental health like check, like like where are you at right now, like red, yellow, green, kind of like what can we do to like get to that point, because
Oh, that's good.
mindset's so huge
Yeah.
for it, and just like managing it. And then also like you can go back and look and be like, oh, okay, like I was red for like a month. Like, and now things are green. Like, that's great. Like, what did I do to like, how can we like reverse engineer that to have more like green, like more green months and things like that. So yeah. So for you, as far as, because I know we only probably have a little bit of time. I don't want to keep it too long. But for you, what were some of your, well, we kind of already talked about this a little bit about like your non-scale victories, right? Like, but do you have any others that you wanted to mention?
Um, Honestly, finding out that you can eat a lot more food when you eat whole foods was
Yes. Oh,
amazing, because I'm like, I'm struggling to meet my goals and like
mhm.
I don't have any more room for food.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, you eat whole foods, you can eat a lot more.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Especially and then you feel fuller too in a lot of ways, and like your body burns more calories to a degree, like when you're consuming more whole foods because of the whole thermic effect of food stuff.
Mhm.
Which, if you don't know what that is, and you're listening to this, I've got like 3 podcast episodes where I talk about that. But if you really want to learn more about it, like I'll teach you. It's all good. But then for the other side of that too is like, you're eating more lean protein sources. You're eating more, again, more, fruits, veggies, things like that, that are gonna like just scientifically fill you up for longer. They make you feel they more satiated for an extended period of time. And I had somebody message me the last week, I think, or maybe it was this week. They're saying like I've really started to base my food choices off of like the satiety index. Like I go and like now I pick foods specifically that like make me feel full for longer. And I'm like, that's great. Like that's, yeah, keep doing that. Like it makes your journey way less miserable and you're not starving all
Yes.
the time. So
Yes, it does.
yeah. Cool. So last question before I let you go, but like for you, what would be a word of advice or just encouragement or like a golden nugget, or like what was like a big takeaway or like, realization that you had, that you would either give to, somebody new who's wanting to start, but maybe on the fence, or even to like
Mhm.
your, former self, like, before you started this journey or we started working together, like what would you tell them? Like,
So anyone that's really struggling to start or know what to do, I highly recommend that they get a health coach, especially you, because you have the accountability that really helps. It made me be more mindful of making sure I was getting everything done that I needed to. And just watching your videos, they were very motivating. And the biggest one for me was that you cannot rely on motivation alone.
mm,
You
yeah,
have to be determined to want it.
yep,
Because yeah, there is definitely days where I'm like, I don't want to work out right now, but I'm going to.
yep.
So
Oh,
it's taken me a lot further than motivation has.
I love
So
that. That's awesome. Yeah, I completely agree. Like, I mean, motivation comes and goes. It is not
yeah.
reliable. There's not a reliable source of to like base the like foundation or backbone of your journey on. And the cool thing is like, like you said, like some days you feel like, ugh, like, I don't want to go do that. But then you do it anyways because you know it's gonna help you in the long run. And also
Mhm.
like every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you're just getting better at doing that. That's a skill in and of itself. I mean, in a lot of ways, that's what helps develop discipline in that area of life for your health and fitness. But like, every time you do it, you just, it's like you just gave yourself a little bit more experience, like to like hit that next level to be able to like be better at it the next time around. And so I completely agree that like, I think a lot of people have they have like a misconception about motivation or about a health and fitness journey. It's just like, oh, like people who are so successful or they're crushing it, they just seem so motivated all the time. And it's like, well, that might be like partially social media's fault and like the window of their like what they're letting you see, but nobody's motivated 100% of the time. Like it'd be weird if you were. I would be like, what is wrong with this person? If that was the case, like I'd just be like, you got to be a robot or something. Like that doesn't make sense. So, but yeah, cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on here. Anything else that you want to share before we hop off here?
I mean, honestly, it is worth it in the long run. I mean, you set people up, as you said, that they don't have to use you long term, but to where at least they know what they're doing. So I highly recommend it for anybody that's wanting to start their health and fitness journey. So
awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on today. And yeah, guys, definitely, if you're in the local Spokane area, check Lindsey out, check out her, business, Berry Fresh Design, right? Yep. And like, she's pretty easy to find in like some of the local business groups. Like she's in there like a lot, which is
I'm awesome. Everywhere.
Yeah, you are. You're omnipresent. So let's go. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching, for listening. And other than that, we will talk to y'all in the next episode. Let's go.